Hello, everyone, and welcome to Minnesota RX, third track on our RX schedule, third stop here. This one's pretty unique. We'll do a fly through quick, and pretty quickly you'll be able to see this one's pretty unique. I mean, there's a few tracks in the RX schedule that are a little similar in some ways. I mean, they're all unique, but I would say this one definitely stands out. I mean, probably the last one too, but yeah, this one definitely stands out. I don't think there's another track in the schedule that really feels like this one. Lots of aggressive jumps that all take a little bit of throttle control to do correctly. So that's kind of weird. You got this massive split that opens up and then goes into another split. That's pretty unique. I mean, there's not really a split that long and you can cross in the middle. It's not really anything like that on any of the other tracks that we're racing throughout the schedule. The Joker is super short for how long of a track this is. The longest lap time. The Joker hurts your lap the least. So that's a thing too. Yeah, there's a lot that is just unique and weird about this track. But we'll see how it goes and how it races. So one stop on the schedule. I think this one's going to be an absolute wild card conk fest. I was thinking that going into the night. We'll see how it goes. All right, so going through the starting order, Roman and Solange won their heats, so they'll be starting. We're going to be doing left to right here. It's going to be Roman, Solange, Armada, Detail, Vulcan, Luke, and Coop. He's getting ready for the nade there. I think he might go back in. Camby and Opix, and then Hunter, Matt, and Soul back here. It's going to be 31 on the checkpoints. It's actually a 16 lap Moto. Oh, and Triple Crown as well. I don't know if I forgot to mention that. But yeah, so Triple Crown. I'll talk about it as we get into it, but gonna be doing the nade here soon. But yeah, 31 checkpoints, 2 jokers, and do 3 motos. All right, nade's out. Green flag. Armada getting a awful jump off the rollover, so he's gonna go wide early on. 4 wide. Oh yeah. I got hit with the sneeze action. Big pile up. Let's take another quick look at that. See what happened here. This part's tricky on the first lap because you generally want to let off here, but what people in the front probably should do that they weren't doing is people in the front should probably gas it a little to give a little leeway for the people in the back rows. But yeah, Camby goes down. I think Coop and Matt go down. That's probably what people should do. I don't think it's what people were doing. But yeah, the people in the front should probably be sending it a little more to give a little respect to the people behind them, but I don't really think I saw many people doing that. I think they were rolling it even more aggressively, which is cool. We're gonna see a little front flip here. There's Vulcan on that one. Man, I thought Soul was gonna get hit with it there too. Went through a few people going for early jokers. Solange gonna lead the first lap down. Here you can see the brilliant part of this track. This front stretch, I love it. So second place is Roman, third place is Detail. That's your top 3 at the moment. Luke, Armada, top 5. Armada's still holding on to that. Maybe with some Joker cheese, but I mean that's pretty crazy. He's still in the top 5 after that start. But I suppose he wasn't involved in the major cheesing, so I mean it probably wasn't as bad as it looked. The major cheesing is probably what really cheesed people. Here we go through the split, and you can see, I think most people are going to be preferring the outside, but I think the inside is a little underrated. If you run it well, it's honestly pretty competitive, and sometimes I even think the inside can be faster than the outside. I think the problem with it is that the inside is a little bit harder to get consistent. So the one lap where you get a rough run or you run it, poorly, that one lap is going to cost you a lot. And I think a lot of people are going to favor the outside because of that. Again, I don't necessarily... they're honestly pretty well balanced. I don't necessarily think the outside is always faster. But I do think it's quite a bit safer. So I think a lot of people are going to elect for it. We're seeing a pretty crazy, almost entire lap battle for third between Luke and Detail right here. And this will be a good example of what I was talking about. And as you can see, this should be a great example because they're dead even, although I don't think... Oh, it's Detail on the inside. I don't think... Well, that's the thing. Look at that. They came out really even, and I don't think Detail ran the inside as fast as he possibly could have right there. It was pretty good, but I still think there was some time left on the board. So right there was a pretty good example of how it's a little bit closer than I think people give it credit for. And honestly, like, well, I mean, we'll see how it adapts throughout the night. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Good racing. This track's great. Glad I made it. So it's going to be Solange, Roman, Detail, top 3 again. But yeah, I think people underrated a little bit. I think there's definitely some, especially with how many people favor the outside, I definitely think there's some, I think there's something to running the inside, like early in the race when people are packed up. Like, I think it's probably a pretty good idea, but in this moto, not many people doing that. Maybe in the other motos as the night progresses, you'll see that. And hell, I mean, even through this, you usually see at least one person go for it, which, to be fair, I mean, if you're trying to battle and, you know, you want to make a move, I mean, sometimes you just kind of have to. Oh, Soul gets it with the front flip. Yeah, so you want to do a little throttle control in that jump. If you full send it, I don't know what happened there. That one just looked ridiculous. All right, lots of people having issues with it. But yeah, if you full send it, I don't know if that's what these guys are doing right now, but if you full send it, you can cheese on that jump. If you do a little bit of throttle check, I mean, it shouldn't really conk you. But I don't know. I'm imagining that people are probably just full sending it. Some battle actions going on throughout the track. Detail and Roman. Armada and Luke are close. There was another one right here. Vulcan and Soul duking it out. This one looks pretty interesting. Let's take another look at this, because again, I'm liking watching these split laps and seeing how it works out. Now, the thing with that one, Soul did not have a very good run on the inside right there. And look at that. He actually kept up with Vulcan pretty well, and I don't think Soul had a very good run on the inside right there. And again, I think Soul went pretty wide, and, well, I mean, he loses a lot on the jump, but that's on the jump, to be fair. But I don't think Soul ran the inside the best he possibly could have right there, and he was still, like, side by side with Vulcan coming out. So I think people in the first moto in the heats really, like, underrated and undervalued that inside, but that's the interesting thing about the track. I think we'll see more people running the inside as the night moves on. If anything, just to have, like, a different line. Also sets you up for the following section better, too. That following turn better as well after the jump. So I don't know. I think a lot of people in this first moto didn't really give it too much credit, but I think, again, we'll see. But I think later in the night, I think people will start to catch on that the inside is maybe not like the most consistent, but definitely has its uses. And if you could, honestly, if you could get it down, I think it might actually be better, but you'd have to be, like, insanely consistent. Joker exits action going on. But yeah, if you got it down really well, Soul and Vulcan's still just duking it out. I bet it could. I bet it's probably faster on a long run if you, like, genuinely ran it perfect every lap. But that's, like, really hard to do. It's a hard line. So yeah, I think that probably plays into it quite a bit. But yeah, it's tricky. Getting the entry right on it's tricky. Getting, you know, trying to maintain your speed and not bog down throughout it is pretty tricky. We'll see some more inside action here, though. But again, that's the interesting thing about it, too. You see Armada going for it, and yeah, as you can tell, that was not a great one. That's just a good showcase on why I think most people elect for the outside. Inside is hard. It is hard. But it could be good. So Luke and Detail battling again. Roman going for it again. Maybe some Joker cheese at play here. I want to say, like, Detail and Roman might have taken theirs. Luke hasn't taken any. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they both might have taken one. And that's probably why it's, like, evened out a little bit. Armada fell back a little bit, so I'm not sure what happened there. Might have taken his. Because he was running for the top 5 early on. So either a cheese or taking both of his, maybe. Some good battles on the track, though. That is one good thing I will say about this night. I think this night definitely had a lot more battle action than the last race. Last race, pretty challenging track and you know, pretty fun one to race on and got some battles, but it was so difficult that, you know, I don't think there's as many battles. Not just because of like people being separated with how fast they were more, but also just like trying not to cheese each other. So like for a combination of those factors, I think there is a little less battle action going on. But this track, I mean, not really the case. This one's a lot easier to pick up. Again, there's some lines that are a little difficult, but I mean, you know, just full send it over the 2 rollovers. That's the fast way, so a little less going into it.
Lap complete.
Slap traffic action. There he is. Slaunch taking one of his jokers. I'm not sure if it was both at that point, but taking one of them. So Slaunch, Luke, Roman, detail right now. So that 3-2-4 just keeps kind of swapping around. Hunter in the top 5 right now. Armada there. In 6th, Camby, and great battle action going on back here. Opix. Is it still Vulcan and Soul? I think it's still Vulcan and Soul. Let's get some onboard action. Let's mix it up. Yeah, this battle between Vulcan and Soul, I feel like it's been going on the entire race, and now Opix is kind of working into it as well. And we'll get another good run. Again, he's a little too loose, but I think Opix had the right idea right there. I think there's definitely something to trying to dodge that bump on that first part of the inside the best that you can. But yeah, again, it's another. I don't think it's slow, but I think it's just a harder line. I think running the inside, well, both parts of the inside to do them the fastest you possibly can is just a little bit more difficult. So a lot of people electing for that outside. But again, we'll see how it evolves. I think there's definitely something when when 9 out of the maybe even like 10 out of the 12 drivers are trying to fit on the outside on the first lap. I definitely think there's going to be, or first few laps really. Especially with the invert as well, I think there's going to be something to say about running the inside early on in those later motos, but we'll see how it works out. But again, it's a difficult line, so if you're not running it fast, it's... Oh, that sucks. Let's see what happened here. Camby and Armada battling. Armada on the inside. And then Armada goes for the cross line right in front of Camby, and he just gets conked. Now, fortunately for Camby, that was a pretty good recovery. That one did not go too poorly, but that could have been pretty bad. That is an option that you can do. Got to be pretty careful about it, but it is... Oh, more conking. Well, and Camby gets conked after that. I don't think... I missed that. What happened after? Did he try to get him back? I think Camby maybe tried to get Armada back or something. I don't know. Hits him with the absolute full send. Yeah, he didn't let off at all. Hits him midair. Oh, that's something. That's something. Oh, where's my cheese? All right, hold on. Onboard action. We're gonna go onboard with Opix and Camby for a sec. Where did I put my shit? Damn it. All right, well, I guess I'll just do this. Technical difficulties, but we're continuing the commentary because I'm not pausing. All right, good enough. Good enough for now. Oh my god. All right. So we are getting pretty close launching that checkpoint. So we're getting pretty close to 4 laps to go. You know, well over halfway through this first moto on Minnesota. Again, very unique track on the RX schedule. I really don't... I mean, there may be some similarities, but this one, like, truly stands out. I think this one has, like, the least similarities with, like, if I could pick a different one. I don't know. It's hard to pick another one that's, like, close to this one. But yeah, this one's very unique. Runs very different, and I think we're going to see lots of throwing around of the positions throughout the night because of that. Definitely a lot of cheese at play with the way some of these sections run as well. A lot at risk. And we see some inside action. That's actually Roman electing to try to start running that inside and make it work. So see if that works out for him. Right here. Okay, so Slaunch getting Koopa lap down. And 3 laps to go. Yep, 3 laps to go for Slaunch. And he's had some pretty good opportunities, but this is the best situation that he's been in to win a moto by far on the season. Both Jokers done, and the closest person to competing with him still has Jokers to go. So Slaunch in a really good position to take this moto win. Honestly, just needs to keep it clean for the rest of the moto. And it should be pretty good. I think he's done the heavy lifting already, so just got to bring it home. Yeah, obviously a lot of second places, strong runs throughout the season, so he can close this one out, can get on that top step, which he's been looking for these last few races. Definitely a track that plays into what he's used to in his skill set, I would say, for most of these sections. You know, that one's just kind of conk, but for the rest of them, I could see it. It's coming down to it, 2 to go. And yeah, that lead's just like super comfy. Way far out in front. It's Luke Detail. Roman still going at it. Those podium positions. This looks like most of the spots probably settled out at this point. Here we go. White flag. One more lap around Minnesota for Slaunch, and as long as he can keep it clean, should be his first moto win on the season. And that'll be a great run for him. Already 3rd place in the points, too, so could be a big pickup there as well. Like this shot here. I should have done this one during the moto. That shot of the whole track's pretty sick. That is one thing I will say. Visually, though, this track's pretty sweet. You can see, like, especially when it gets, like, gapped like this. Coming around the final turn. Finish line's at that first roller. Slaunch going to take the win. First moto. It's going to be Detail, Roman, Luke, and a bit of a gap. Top 4 really got separated in this one. There we go. Hunter, 5th. Mata, 6th. Vulcan, going to be coming home 7th. Can be 8th. Yeah, can be 8th. Soul, 9th. Opex coming home in 10th. And then we just got Matt and Coop, who I believe are going to be 11th and 12th. Yeah, we saw him when Slaunch was lapping him. There's a pretty big gap there. Matt taking the spot on Coop. Taking 11th. Coop going to come home 12th in this one. So there you go, mixing it up. But yeah, with that finish, we're definitely going to see a mix up in this first race. But there's still 2 more motos to go. So still a lot of time left and for things to cheese around. And on this track, you know, it could probably happen. But yeah, GG's. Slaunch picking up his first moto win of the season. Let's send it over on to Moto 2.